morning, everyone. Oh, maybe it's good afternoon now. Good afternoon, Marichelle. How are you today?
I'm good. Hi, Ria. Hi, everybody.
Hi, everyone. It's so great to be here again. This is Thursday. Marichelle and Ria's, we talk about how to be authentic self. In the past two shows, we talk about the self-awareness, self-acceptance. And this time, we are talking about self-responsibility. Wow, that's the big one, right, Marichelle? So tell us a little bit, what do you think is self-responsibility? Yeah, of course, everybody knows that word, but how do you can be more self-responsibility?
Yeah, self-responsibility out of our 6 steps towards becoming more authentic in our lives. I think this is the one that is the serious one. And this is the one that is kind of making you basically decide either becoming a victim or either becoming your own hero. And that's why it's serious, because it requires the action. It requires you to make a decision, either being a victim or taking ownership of your life and be your own hero.
I know we all been there before. I think all of us probably been here before. When something goes wrong, the number one thing we'll be thinking about. Something wrong is not what I did. Is that thing's wrong? You start to blame somebody. Then sometimes you blame yourself. But what is really is self-responsibility. It's not about the blaming you or blaming other people. It's about be observed. I think be more observed to look through what is things really happens. Then take responsibility is how you can fix that, then move forward. If that's something you think I said is right, Marichelle.
Yes, it's actually, the ability to where you put your attention. Are you going to focus on the things that are happening to you because life is unfair? Or are you going to put your attention on the way you react in front of those situations, right? Because you're not in control of everything. And sometimes when the results you're expecting are not happening, we have the tendency to, blame. Oh, that was bad luck. Oh, or that wasn't my day. Or we find excuses and we find other people to blame. I mean, it's so easy to just, oh, it wasn't me. But if we focus instead of that way, if we focus on how do we really react after that, that's 100% on us, right? If life is unfair, I can choose, to think, okay, maybe the person who offended me had a bad day that day. Maybe that moment wasn't a good day for her, for him, whatever. And I can, avoid taking things personal and make better decisions from there.
Yes, what does it mean to be self-responsibility? We want different things, the line here, the number one things we want to talk about. So how to talk about taking responsibility for our own bodies? So, when sometimes we feel, oh, we're fat, I need to lose weight, then, well, I want to take this again, maybe next days. So then we know we work out. We know if you work out every day, then in the 6 months, your body completely changed. But if you just work out like a beginning 1 week, 2 weeks, it's hard. Then you didn't see much results. Then maybe you give up, say, this workout doesn't work for me. Is that self-responsibility?
Yeah, totally. And don't get discouraged just because you're not seeing results yet. Like the energy you have today, right now, is the consequence of what happened already 3 days ago. So if you assess and say, oh, I feel tired, I don't feel like myself, be responsible for the next coming version of yourself in 3 days. And tonight, go to bed early. Today, drink your water. So how you take care of your 3 domains, your body. So basic things, sleep enough, do your meditations, do your stretchings, take your water, and invest, because everything you're doing today is for yourself in the future. That way you are growing, expanding a better future.
That is a simple sense. Sometimes we just forgot. So if we forgot, we should say, it's okay, we forgot. But when we say we forgot that moment because we remembered, then we can continue doing that. Remember, we talked about in the 2-up show before, we talked about the self-awareness. So you're aware what's happening. Then self-acceptance is we talk about when things happens, there's something going wrong, you accept that. Then now we talk about the self-responsibility. After you accept that, this is the actions responsibility. What do you do, right?
Exactly. And here is the important part where you basically understand what is that you can change and what is that you cannot change. Because it's a futile cycle to insist changing things that you cannot, right? So if I go through life waiting until my partner will change someday, or I force him to be the way I expect, or I like, or I accept, it's futile, right? It's something that is not going to happen. Instead, I can focus on the things that I can change. I can change my expectations. I can change the way I do things, the way I receive inputs. And that way, I focus on the things that really make my life be driven by myself.
So that's, we talk about another responsibility is responsibility for your own emotions. How do you manage your emotions? That's a big one. I tell you, yesterday I was in my podcast with one of my guests, talk about how we traumatized, not just once, many times, but how can we aware, then after aware that, then how do we can take responsibility to manage our own emotions?
Yeah, that is very important, because if you don't have control of your emotions, you have a tendency to hide them. And guess what happened when you put trash under the carpet, right? It's gonna be on your body somewhere. It's gonna manifest in any kind of illness or discomfort or tightness. Sometimes you feel like, oh, I have a shoulder that is not, whatever impairment that will be suffered in your body was born before with an emotion. So we have to be responsible for, control, managing our emotions.
Yes, we talked about the last time. One of my clients said he always feel depressed and feel sad, and then go back to find out when he was. That's the sense. Even listening to the story, I feel sad. So the story is she talk about when she was kids. Then when her parents go through divorce. Then the parents come ask her, who you choose to leave.
Oh, that's tough.
That emotion, that pressure, she was a teenager. She have to choose, I want to live with both parents, but I have to choose live one. That also because it was in China, we are not like American here. You can live halfway with your mom and halfway with your father. But that time in different cultures, you just choose live with one. Then you go see another one, maybe year or 2 years. So she got so much pressure in herself. She couldn't sleep at all. She become so much anxiety, so much pressure. So how do you say take responsibility? How she can take responsibility for that?
Yeah, those are big, trauma is gonna be stuck in your psyche, in your body for a long time, unless you work with a therapist or you work with a coach. But basically, the process requires you to face that emotion, and like a fire, like those lamps that has oil, your attention to that emotion is like the oxygen to the fire. But you have to be brave enough to feel those emotions. So the whole idea is to create a space, where you can show that emotion, bring those memories, bring what you felt, feel in your body, whatever you felt then, because your body is the same and will remember, and give it the time that it's needed to basically burn that emotion away. That's the only way we can process emotions from the past. And most of the time, these emotions bring messages that once you are aware of that message, then they're free to go. And sometimes they heal in one session, sometimes they heal in several sessions, but the awareness, as we started, becoming aware of a bad emotion that I had in the past, and then the accept that it wasn't my fault. It was something that happened to me and I didn't have the tools to cope with. And third step, now I have the choice and I have the responsibility to make sure this emotion is being taken care by me right now. And that's how we can become free from our past and move forward.
I love what you just said, facing that situation, facing that, not running away with that emotion. That is responsibility. Like we are in the child, or we are teenagers, we didn't know that happens. Then since it's already happened, we said we accept it since it already happened. Then we are aware, well, that since it's already happened, now it's responsibility, is I have to facing my fear. So we are past that teenager age, we're carrying all of that traumas now in the 40s, 50s, even 60s. Now is you have the choice, you have the power to use the tool to release that emotions, not say, okay, so that is not my fault, it's my parents' fault. Then that time they gave me so much precious, so that's how I become today. Well, we wanted to say, yes, it is. Unfortunately, they give you that precious, but now you have this tool here, so you don't have to continue to blind that. Just accept the situation already happened. Then use the tool. I'm aware I have that emotion, I have trauma, I didn't release yet. Now I'm learning this new tool, accept that. Then from that acceptance, I take responsibility and choose to release that. Then learning the tool, like we said, the meditation, then all different holistic healings can help you nurturing, chasing back, nurturing what happens in there, than to heal what you are now.
Exactly. And the other thing that is very important to remember is that anytime you do something for yourself in terms of self-care, let's say you're taking care of your emotions, we just mentioned that, it repercutes like waves. It will affect your body. It will affect your mind. Of course, the way you feel emotions, and also the purpose you have in life, your spirit. Because every little change you make in one area of your life with the intention, it will affect positively in the other areas of your life.
Yeah, we wanted to give a few few tips. So how do you can be more aware than acceptance, than take responsibility when this already happened? Being self-responsibility is meaning you make ownership of your life. So Marcia, would you like talk another few tips? How do, if the people already here listening this, so when they go to this trauma emotions, what is the number one they taking care of?
I like journaling, the process of writing your thoughts in the moment. You are using your mind, but your emotions are really there too. So when you read what you wrote, you understand what you were going through, but you're not in the storm anymore. You're seeing like a movie of what happened to you. And you have more skills, you have more tools to put together so that you can understand what just happened or what happened the day before or the month before. But journaling or keeping a gratitude journal, writing, the process of extracting ideas will bring those emotions together. And that's I would say, easy, practical way to start dealing and becoming aware of the emotions that you need to pay attention to.
I like that. When we talk about the journaling, so be aware when you start journaling, you just, whatever come to your mind, you just start writing. Do not stop. Then because when you stop your thinking, then you might take another wrong say, is that right or not right? You just not stopping, just writing. After you writing, also you release that thought inside your mind, then release that emotion into your body, with your body. Now you can read. Then from your reading, so you can be more aware, not awareness take in, be aware, don't judge anything you write down, anything you read. Then after you read, so you can find a place, then start meditating. When we say meditating, is you be more observe, so what's going on. Then turning to your body. You already write down, you already read, you already shift. So turning to your body. Even you can put the hands on your heart, like we talk about the breathing in, breathing out, then breathing 4, then hold it, then exhale 5. Then doing this simple things. Even you can just go walk. It's just observe your body, what is going on. This is the way how do you already take responsibility for that.
Yeah, I love what you said, totally. And it helps me to imagine that, emotions are like little entities with little envelopes that contain a message for you, and that they're waiting for your attention for that message to be delivered. But first, you need to go and have an interview with that emotion. So escaping is not going to work in long term. And journaling is a good way to acknowledge and create like a list, and then go interview those emotions and get the little bonus of the message. Sometimes the message is just like a little toddler kid, just like, okay, I just need you right now, and maybe that's enough, and that's all it needs.
Yes.
But it's a healthy habit that we unfortunately don't have in our culture, but it's so important that we start developing and incorporating that in our days.
Thank you, Marshall. Thank you, everyone. I hope you get some tips. We talk about self-responsibility. You go journaling, then read, then observe your thoughts, then do some meditation, or even do some walking. So this is today's responsibility, the show today. So we would like to hear you comment below. How do you take responsibility from yourself? What action you did? You can always email me and Marichelle and make comment there. We will get back answer to you sooner as possible. Every Thursday we have this. It's a Thursday, right, Marichelle?
It's
every
called Authentic Thursdays. Yes, it's every Thursday at noon Pacific time.
Yes. Thank you, everybody. We are looking forward to see you next Thursday. Next Thursday, before we leave, what is our next Thursday? We will be talking about it.
Yes, step number 4 out of 6 is self-integrity.
How to be honored by yourself. All right, we're looking forward to see you next Thursday. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.